Hey guys, what's up? This is False Bulls 123, and I'm coming to you day. Ooh, I think it's 9 of the quarantine. So I figured, if I was going to be doing anything with the quarantine, I wanted to, start my fitness routine early. Because I was planning for, this summer, but. I'm going to show you when the iron's hot. So I thought for today's vlog. Oh, excuse me, my nose is so itchy. Allergies. I thought, I was thinking that for today's vlog, I'd tell you about sort of how I got into yoga. So, me and my bestie Chris, if there's one thing that we have in common, it is that we are both dumpster divers. I got it from my mom. I don't know where Chris got his dumpster diving ascension from, but it's something that we both had no qualms with. And I still don't to this day. I just don't got any good dumpsters to dig through. Now, I found a lot of things in trash cans in college, which I feel should be its own video. I kind of want to know if there's a dumpster dive or side of YouTube, because I kind of want to see somebody's trash haul that they get, because I love videos like that. Because that would be crazy. Let's see, things that you have seen me wear that were once found in the trash is my sleeveless t-shirt. Don't know if I have a pic of that, but if I do, I'll put it up here. And Mama Brune, actually. Mama Brune was thrown away. And so Chris rescued her, but she ended up, staying with me after college. Anyway, getting off track. Another thing I found was actually a really nice yoga mat. I bought this at Walmart to replace the one I had in Coos Bay. And this one isn't as nice. It's a little bit thinner. And the thing that's is that it doesn't have the carrying strap for it, which I don't like. I like there to be a carrying strap on this. That way I know it'll stay rolled. Otherwise it just does that, and that's annoying. I don't like that. So if you're going to buy a yoga mat, buy one with a strap. Even if you have to save up for it. Just my personal opinion. So this was I think summer of 2018. I had to think about it. And so I had a yoga mat, and I'm thinking, well, I got a yoga mat, so I should do yoga, duh. Because I had already been dieting, and actually, that's another great idea. I might do that tomorrow. Just discuss, my dieting stories and stuff like that. Just a bit of story time. But basically, at a yoga mat, I'm thinking, well, I got a yoga mat. I gotta do yoga. So, I just started doing some stuff. I did my stretching. And I'm a pretty flexible person, so that's not that hard to do. But pretty much, I just got into it, and I really enjoyed myself. And so that year, with the dieting, with my yoga, with my cardio routine that I was doing, which involved a lot of lunges. And can I just say now, I hate lunges. Lunges can die in a hole. And that's my strict opinion. Which kind of sucks, because in yoga, you do lunges a little bit. But they're slower. Everything in yoga is basically doing calisthenics or cardio. But doing it really slow, so you can feel the burn. So, it looks like you're having a marvelous time just, doing your warrior poses. But inside you're screaming. Anyway, so, yeah, I was getting into it. I lost about 20 pounds that summer. Threw my yoga mat in, my closet for the next 4 months because I was too busy at work. And by that time, Chris had moved back in because he had went home over the summer. Culinary classes, we had summer classes as well, so we were there full time. So we didn't really get a summer break. So I just got distracted by my hair. Welcome to part 17 of Ryan being distracted by his own hair. Anyway, so I kind of threw it in the closet for a while. Next time I pulled up, started yoga again was I think the next summer of 2019. And at the time, I had been going through a pretty tough depression. it wasn't like, I've never really had an issue with mental illness up to that point. And so I was really struggling to sort of cope and understand, like, just how to process things. And with yoga, I found where, like, before I was mostly using yoga to de-stress, both, like, I guess, emotionally, but also physically, because I'm a cook, so I work a very labor-intensive job. Not like, a construction worker would do, but as labor intensity goes, cooks are pretty much high up there. Cooks also just have a very technical and, I guess, creative job at the same time. So, if you're, like, going to put on a spectrum, imagine, like, we would be sort of a slight opposite of arc welders. So, high creativity and technicality, heavy, like, manual labor, slightly flipped there. But getting off point. So, like, before, where I was, like, really just trying to, like, make sure I don't break anything. In 2019, when I was, like, jobless, I was doing yoga, and it was really a way of improving my mental health. But at the same time, it really helped alleviate some of the symptoms of depression. One thing that no one really told me, or, like, it just doesn't really get mentioned when you do have depression, is that it does have a physical toll on your body. For me, it was a lot of muscle pain. Well, not pain, more like fatigue, muscle aches, kind of that thing. Like, I was heavily fatigued, like, all the time. It hurt to move. It was hard to get out of bed, not because I felt sad, but because it was physically difficult somehow. And that's just really the hardest part to really describe to people, that there is a somatic bodily reaction when you're going for that type of thing. So, yoga really helped me then as well. And honestly, I've enjoyed yoga for the most part. I think it's, like, a really fun, like, exercise regime. Just like, if somebody was a jogger, or if they were cycling, or if they swam. It's just, for me at least, it's just another way to do fitness. I would say I am a spiritual person. If you've met me for more than 5 minutes, you might get the sense that that's at least an interest of mine. I talk about the Summa Theologica way too much for any human person, given the fact that I have not read it and I am not Catholic. But like, the reason why I say that is that, like, for yoga, I don't believe in, I guess, any of the sort of the original meanings of the poses, because I do know that, like, originally yoga was used a lot for spiritual and Gnostic practices, and so there was a lot of, I guess, it was used as a form of worship, or as, I guess, a spiritual thing. And I don't really understand any of the history behind that, any of sort of the deeper notions of it. And yeah, you can say that, like, that's my fault. But at the same time, I enjoy yoga for the physical benefits, and I'm not interested in the religious aspect of it. And a lot of, I guess, Western yoga practice really bastardizes and messes up that original practice as far as I can understand it. I don't know, like, I know there are chakras, and I know it has something to do with something, but the closest I ever got to anything revolving Eastern religion or mythology was a reflexology chart that my grandma gave me when I was, like, 12 and learning how to give people foot rubs, which is, fun in effect, my secret really good at skill. Everyone has it. Everyone has a secret skill they're really good at, and mine is that I am very good at giving foot rubs. Anyway, so it's like, I'm not super into, like, the whole, I guess, religious or spiritual aspect of yoga, but I like stretching because I like to stretch. I don't mention it often, but another one of my favorite activities, and this has been since I was a little wean, was, I love to dance, right? I like to think, a decent dancer. People enjoyed my dancing for the most part, or else ever in my life has just been very much humoring me. Either way, I enjoy dancing, so I do not care. I dance like no one's watching, because I don't care if they're watching. they should be watching. It's just that good. But yeah, so I like yoga because it also helps me sort of become more flexible, give me that elasticity that I can actually do things with. And that was a horrible dance move. But I mean, it is what it is. One of these days, it might be really fun because we do have a bit more space here in the living room. Is actually just do like a dancing video because I know there's like people watch that on YouTube. Like part of me's like, oh my goodness, Ryan, if you want to dance so much, you should get on TikTok. And it's like, when I was growing up, it was called Musical.ly, and that's just what you thought went to eat hot Cheetos and like lip sync. But now it's also where 14-year-olds go to eat hot Cheetos and lip sync. And like a bunch of other stuff. Like, I don't know anything about the platform because like it's like the newer. It's not even the newer generation. Like I'm Gen Z, technically. Like I'm in this weird. I'm like right at the cusp, right? Because like, so I still kind of like relate to like a lot of the culture that millennials do because I lived close enough to that time period to know what Lisa Frank was. But then it's like I'm just not as old enough to be in like my late 20s. And it's weird. Like, I blame my grandmother because she was born, like, at the end of the baby boomers, and obviously she fucked up the generational shift for me. No, I'm just kidding, but, yeah, I don't, this is kind of trailing off again, but I don't get TikTok. If I did understand TikTok, and if I had the emotional energy to get invested in another social media platform, maybe I would do it. At least I know that TikTok can in some way replicate Vine and have that good Vine energy. So perhaps, like, the children of the future, like my little cousin Steven, will have good memes. But that's all I knew about TikTok. That, and they have, like, a surprisingly good taste in music. Like, I've never, like, been on there. Just, like, shameful fact, I was never on Vine. I never watched a Vine on its original platform. But I do watch a lot of those, TikTok songs you don't know the names of, because I never find the one I'm looking for, but I always find like really good music, and I'm just like, this is going in my DOP list. So, anyway, guys, this was a long ass ramble, but yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about like just my experiences with dieting, and let me know if you guys like have any ideas about yoga, about dumpster diving, about any of the stuff that I briefly mentioned in this vlog. And I'm gonna head out for the night. And also, guys, do let me know, and you can like comment this on like any of my videos, if you think I should like be doing these like week-long quarantine vlogs, or if you'd rather have these as day-long quarantine vlogs, because that might give me a little bit more, let's say, oomph to actually edit these on time. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. This is gonna be like me outsy for today, but I'm not gonna officially sign off till the end of the week. So, see you soon.